Now, today, why you're here. That's the first thing that I want to start out talking about. So, good evening, everybody. Hope that you had a wonderful dinner. We are going to be joined by someone this evening who is is there something there? I don't think so. I don't think there's anything in there. Excuse me for a moment, please. Okay, I'm back. So, now, we're going to be joined by someone this evening who was going to come here yesterday, but something came up last minute. So, unfortunately that wasn't the case. But she will be joining us, and that is none other by Jada de Laurentiis, because she is at Bimby Talay Talks Amenten, and she is coming to our Amenten, and so she's going to be with us for Thursday and Friday. And the reason why that, we're going to be spending a couple of days, so, oh right, the eclipse is on the 5th. That makes life very, very difficult. Okay, I'm going to make an exception to that rule, that, we're going to be staying, here, even though an eclipse is happening, let's continue this Amenten. Especially because it is Cinco de Mayo, and I'm sure that she has a lot of great recipes, which, are in, with the holiday of Cinco de Mayo, which is a Mexican holiday. And so, yeah, Spanish holiday, which is, really popular, and, my family and I are going to have Mexican that particular day because of Cinco de Mayo, so I just want to celebrate it, and, acknowledge it. And then the next day is Coronation Day for the King Charles of London. Now, this weekend, it's really, really important that you listen up very carefully to this, and this is where I say, and I've said several times, that Susan, Linda, and Daniel have a job to do, and you're going to have to do that job. So, remember when I was screaming and yelling at you about coming into that living room when I was going to be having an Amenten meeting on Sunday at 10 a.m. in the morning? I think that was the weekend of April 8th and 9th. I was talking to you, and I was telling you how things were going to be going, and I was emphasizing points over and over again about not disturbing me while I'm spending time with my family and doing all that. So, do any of you remember that? Does that ring a bell? For a couple people. Okay. Well, this weekend it is going to be a different story. I told you all of that, and then I forgot that it was Easter Sunday and I was going to be going to church that morning. It was a small, select church service gathering that my family and I went to for Easter. So that was what was going on, but this time around, that's not the case. Because at 10 a.m. in the morning on Sunday, May 7th, you're going to be coming to Corning and you're going to be going into that living room where I'm going to be giving you the weekly announcements. Okay? Now, a couple of things that you need to be aware of is that the screen will not be there. There is not really a way to set it up. Okay, so that's the first thing that you need to know. There may not be enough room for everybody in that living room, so you may get there and there may only be a limited amount of space in the house because I want you to be able to see and hear me. Because if you are okay, so here, let's just, look at this holistically. Okay, so I just want you to picture this. I am standing in front of you. Okay, so you're standing here, and some of you are in the living room, standing or sitting because you need to look at me and listen to me because I'm giving announcements and I'm having an Amenten meeting. But what about the people? Okay, let's say there's people in the living room. Okay, so let's say that, for the people here physically, this is the living room at my grandparents' house. But then, moving into the next room, beside it, there's still more people standing in the next room. Standing up. Probably not being able to see me properly. They can probably hear me, but they can't see me. But they're standing in line. They're standing, listening to me. That is what I want to avoid. With an exception. Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit dicey. Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you. This is where, this gets a little bit tricky. Okay, so it is going to be difficult so people are, I really hope that you are all understanding what I'm saying because I do not want to have to take so much of my mental energy trying to explain this. Okay, I really don't. People in the living room, and then people in the other room, the room that you you get into when you first enter the house. That's the room that I am talking about. I don't know if people can fit in that room. Now, I'm going to leave that open-ended. Here's what's going to happen. Here. Okay. However many people can comfortably fit into the living room is the amount of people, the maximum amount of people that are going to be in that space. Plus some people in the next room. So that means that there will be people in the living room, and there might have to be people in the other room, in the next room, in the room that you walk into when you enter the house. The reason for this is because it is super imperative that you are there and you're present and you're listening to what I'm saying and you're absorbing the information, that you're taking in the information. Because last time that wasn't the case. Because I was throwing out, so much information, and there was a lot of confusion. It was very overwhelming. There's a lot of little details, a lot of assignments for you to remember, and I'm going to be doing the meeting. Okay, so I want you to listen carefully. I'm going to be doing the meeting. I'm going to be giving you the announcements. If something comes up, like a family member telling me, hey, you've been in there a while, how about you do something else, or how about we go take a walk or something like that, then I am going to have you leave the residence. So you're going to be going back on the buses. Then you're going to be going to that parking lot of that building that you're going to be at, that you're going to be sleeping at, that you're going to be staying at while you're at Corning. And Daniel will give you the announcements. Actually, here's what's going to happen. Change the plan. So, this could work a couple of different ways. I need you all listening because I'm not going to repeat this again. Okay, so either I get through all of my announcements and we have the Amenten meeting, or something comes up. A family member tells me, you've been doing this a while, can somebody, can I go in the living room, or, lunch is ready, or, something else that comes up. If a family member, addresses me from another room when I am doing a meeting, or they come into the living room and talk to me whilst I'm doing an Amenten meeting, then that is an automatic cue for you to leave. I might not even say it. But when that happens, if that should happen, then you are going to leave automatically. Going on buses, you're going to go on buses, you're going to head straight back to the Amenten. If that should happen. If I should lose interest and get sick and tired of giving the announcements, and I don't want to give the weekly announcements, I will hand it over to Susan, Linda, or Daniel. If I get tired of giving the announcements, I need you listening. If I get tired of giving the announcements, Susan, Linda, and Daniel will be there, and one of them will fill in and finish giving you the announcements. Okay? Wait a second. Okay, so that's totally confusing. Okay, so I'm going to say it again. As I said before, if I lose interest, if a family member talks to me from another room saying something along the lines of maybe, lunch is ready, or you should take a break from this, or let's do something else, or anything like that, then I am going to stop my meeting. I'm going to stop running the Amenten meeting, because this Amenten is not as important and valuable as spending time with my family, and I may not tell you to leave, go back on the buses, and head back to the Amenten. I may not tell you that, but you need to assume that that you know what I mean. You need to assume that you need to leave. If I lose interest in giving the announcements and I'm sick and tired of it, okay, so let's say I'm giving the announcements and then I lose interest in doing it and I don't want to do it anymore. Then you can leave. Then you will all leave, go back on the buses, and head back to the Amenten. Okay, so that's a second particular case of how, the Amenten could not go as planned. The plan is that you come there, have the meeting, give you the announcements. That plan may or may not work out depending upon the circumstances. What I want, how I feel. There's a lot of factors that play into this. Here is another reason why you might leave the residence, leave that house without me telling you to leave if things should not go as planned. If I want to show a video to a family member, and if I've made a plan at this time, I'm going to come in the living room, show them video on the computer, or sit down and have a conversation with them. It will be really infuriating and very humiliating, and it's going to make me very uncomfortable if you are all there, sitting there, whilst I am trying to enjoy my time with a family member. I do not want to be having a conversation with them or sitting watching a video on the computer with them while all of you are standing in there. So, if that should happen, then that is another reason why you will leave automatically. I hope that all of this is clear. Here's the other thing that you need to be aware of. Under no circumstance, there's no exceptions to this at all. Here's the rule. If you have any questions or concerns to talk to me about, if you want to talk to me in person, you have to wait till that Amenten meeting, and at the very end, I will answer people's questions. You will not be coming to that residence, to that house, uninvited and unannounced. Period. If you have questions or concerns, you know how to get a hold of me. You can email me with my email. You all know my email. All of you should know my email by now. So you can ask questions and communicate those questions or concerns to me through email. If you should all remember your computer. You should all remember your computer. If you don't bring your computer, that's not my problem. That is no exception for you to come to that house and bother and interrupt and interfere with the time that I could be spending to enjoy time with my family. Nobody will come to that house and ring on the doorbell and expect me to go there and address whatever concern or question or problem that they have, because I will not do that. I will see who it is knocking at the doorbell, and I will simply not answer. I will simply not answer. If it gets to be to the point where it is an issue, a serious issue, well, the police will have to be involved. I don't want to get the police involved. I really don't. I really don't. It's just, no. Just be smart and do the right thing and do not come to that house. I'm sure that you wouldn't want me to interrupt your time with your family. I don't care how important it is. I don't care how urgent the matter is. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. There's no exceptions. I'm drawing a clear boundary. That is my time to enjoy it with my family. You're not going to interrupt it. Period. If you want to talk to me in person about it, you need to wait till that meeting on Sunday, May 7th at 10 a.m. in the morning, period. I hope that that's clear. All of you will be going on buses over there So, all of you will be doing that. It simplifies things. It really does. It really does simplify things. Okay, so all of you will be going on buses. You will be arriving at the building where you're going to be sleeping at a certain period of time. Those people will be coming out and introducing you to, the building and welcoming you in. You will get checked in. You'll go to your rooms, have a nice Saturday. They serve dinner there, so you can do that, or you can, yeah. So, that particular place, that building that you're going to be at is where you're going to be staying until 10 a.m. in the morning on Sunday. Before that point, all of you will be packing your stuff up. On those buses you'll be packing, so you're going to pack all of your stuff to leave before you head to the Amenten Meeting at 10 a.m. in the morning on Sunday. You'll pack all your stuff up on the bus, on the buses. Those buses will be going over. They will be coming over to that house. They will be staying there for the entire meeting, because, we never know what's going to happen, if I'm going to get through all the announcements or not, or if something should come up to where you have to get back on the buses and head straight to the Amenten. Because after the Amenten meeting is done, you will all be heading back on those buses, and you'll be going straight back to the Amenten. Straight back to the Amenten. Well, you'll get here, you'll get back into town before I get back, because I'll be coming back at a later time with my family. I hope all of this is clear. I really hope all this. Susan, Linda, and Daniel, the three of them, or one of them, is going to be explaining what's going to be happening in more detail to you, so that you understand things, okay? You understand what's going on more in detail and more holistically, so that you have a more holistic understanding of what has happened. Okay? I hope that's clear. I'll see about questions towards the end of the meeting. It is, yeah, okay. So it's getting a little bit late now. And I'm running out of battery on my phone. So my phone's at 18% now, so yeah. Alright. So that was the big thing that I want to let you know about. I just cleared that out to the open. And yeah, okay. So now I'm going to be back, so I need you all to stay here, and I need you all to wait, because I'm going to get something phone. I'm going to get a charger, because this phone. So it is going to be a longer Amenten meeting. That is just how it is going to be, because I took the time to explain to you the whole process of how it would work, and this Corning meeting is going to be working, because it came up. Now, stay here, don't move. I'm going to get the charger, and then I'm going to continue telling you what it is that I want to talk to you about. Oh, gosh, what? Okay, now, hopefully that's going to continue recording. Okay, so unfortunately my phone doesn't have enough juice, and I am not going to use my new phone or new computer, because then that would mean that I have to make it public. I'm not using my phone or computer for these types of things. I'm just not. I'm just not. Okay, so, now, what I want to talk to you about. So, earlier today, before dinner, I was talking to you about perception, and how sometimes perceptions can be false. and things can be misinterpreted. And Mercury is retrograde, so miscommunications and misinterpretations, you're probably more attuned to those things during Mercury retrograde, where you're in a situation and it may seem like people are talking about you when really they're talking about something else or someone else. Now, I would do this downstairs, but the computer is being used. So that's why you're here at this Amenten meeting. Tomorrow, this is not going to matter. I don't think this is going to matter tomorrow. So that's why I'm telling you this tonight. Now, and it's really, really important that I tell you this before, Jada comes in. Because it would be very embarrassing and I would not be comfortable telling you this. Alright, so what's happening? What happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. So, I was, as you know, I'm sure a lot of you know that I have an electric scooter that I ride around. And, I went to a certain area, a certain park today. And, there were these kids there, occupied. And, as soon as I came there, they started talking about this person. Actually, I think that it's work out. See, you're more limited when you have to plug things in. Unfortunately. Okay, so they were, as soon as I got there, they were talking about someone who was, I'm not going to even tell you about it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Actually, it is. I'll tell you. Hold on a moment. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to waste the energy off of that computer. No. I'm not going to do it. I could, but if I do it, then I'll only have to post it, and it'll be difficult to do that. And of course, I will be regretting it. I will regret it after I do it. I just will. I just know I will. So I'm not going to give in to that enthusiasm or inspiration that I might have. So. All right. So, oh, come on. Please, just turn around. There you go. Okay. So as soon as I got there, they were talking about somebody who was apparently following somebody. Because as soon as I got there, they started saying, it's just so beneath me to try to talk about it and explain it to you. I'm just kind of telling you how it is. And unfortunately, I can't do it in the way that I would like to do it. Because this phone is charging and I can't, and unfortunately, I can't tell you in the way that I would like to talk to you about it. That makes it really unfortunate. So, that blew that opportunity. All right, so I'm just gonna move on. I'm just gonna move on. It's a super petty thing to talk about, and I certainly was not the one responsible, and I don't know who they were referring to or what they were referring to. It certainly was not me because I do not go out and follow people. Um, you know, I I'm gonna be perfectly honest that I do not follow people. I don't follow people. And so it seemed like it was directed at me, and I sort of interpreted it like it was, but I know that it wasn't. So that is an example of a misinterpretation. Now, I don't want to talk any more about that. Moving on. Switching gears. What is going to be happening now? Okay. So let's invite Jada into the event, and you can bring her in, Daniel.